What is an achievement gap? An achievement gap is a disparity of achievement between various student groups. So there are different causes that can cause the achievement gap. Three of the ones that I've found are limited family support, limited access to health and social services, and lack of resources and materials in low-income schools. I live in Los Angeles, and we have a really diverse group of students from Mexican to Black to white to different various learning abilities. And I really see this in my own community very, very much. And I actually work in a low-income school, and I got to personally firsthand see the differences that someone who, like myself, went to a private school my whole life was pretty large on what I was offered versus what they were offered. In the low-income school that I worked in, they had terrible books and desks that had writing all over it and chairs that were broken constantly, which also detracted a great value of teacher that would work there. And a lot of these teachers found it to be very discouraging. One of the teachers I worked with when I worked in the high school said that what was the point of giving homework? They weren't going to do it. At my school, homework was a requirement. It was a standard that was put there. Right there is a great example of where you can see that achievement gap. So my proposed solution to help closing this achievement gap starts with education. And I think that educating parents to really, really see how huge this gap is and what we can do, what are the steps we can take is the most important thing. And the way I think that we can do this is actually through a documentary. I think that parents should be, forced to watch this documentary at the beginning of the school year during maybe a parent-teacher conference, or maybe the back-to-school night would be a great place to do this. And so that way it kind of opens parents' eyes. And I think that if we can educate parents onto the steps they can take to help close in that gaps even for their own students personally, I think we could actually see a really huge development of closing that gap nationally and on a bigger, larger scale. Some of the resources that we would need would be a documentary crew and families that have been through the system, as well as teachers and professionals that have left because of the gap or still trying to fight that gap, and success stories from schools that have officially closed that gap in their schools. And then some of the obstacles that I think that I would expect to find in trying to implement this solution would be, it would be difficult to get parents to sit down and watch this movie. And that's why I think it would be great to do it at like a back to school night where all the parents are there anyways. So some of the outcomes that I hope to achieve with this proposed solution is I hope to educate the public on this concern, and also that they can take steps to fix this, that they are not, helpless, and they are empowered, and we can empower them with that information. I think that this is incredibly important to me and to my community because I've seen it firsthand and how it affects so many of the children that I work with and children that are all over the United States, and especially in the state of California that I live in. Thanks.